Happy New Year to you all. And that prayer of Amun is Namuzul Shalu Amun-Rayay. Prayer of Amun-Rayay. This was also, you have to be reminded, this was authored by Passcode Yaanuwn, and it's in the back of the Patarak concentration. Nuk Saluk bi Amun-Rayay, Wu Nabab, Mol Maduhu. I trust by way of Amun-Rayay and his master teachers, Wu Mariyat Hu and his Papari, Wu Manzal Hu, Li Panan Zeman Wu Wakwat, Passcode Yaanuwn and his warner for this day and time, the master Yaanuwn. Khalil Hamadak Atheli Amun-Rayay, Najir Shalom Papatat Wu Pataha. All praises are for Amun-Rayay, overseer of the heaven and the earth. Anuki Nawapu, I am Nawapian. All right? Anybody have a spiritual experience they'd like to share with us? Yes.
I have one, Miss File.
This is Jasmine, but you know I'm in class.
Very good, Jasmine. I'm glad to hear you tell them what you got. What did you want to share?
Oh, I didn't have anything to share. I just want to let you know I'm not missing it.
Well, I'm very happy to feel you. The brother has something to share, right?
Yes, sir. This is Ivory.
Okay, Ivory. Very good. Finally. Go ahead.
And most recently, to add on top of me seeing like a comet in the sky, real recently people were saying that they heard like a boom in the sky from from Florida to Tampa all the way to here where I'm located in Texas. And what is it called? And then they have very different videos and perspectives of seeing like these strange lights in the sky while the sky is cloudy, and everybody's having the same exact different perspectives of the same lights. And I didn't really think it was made up until multiple people around us from where I'm located have like their doorbell, their cameras record. It has like the big boom and multiple booms on their camera as well.
Well, not unusual, son, because there is contact from the extraterrestrial beings happening right now, even as we speak. And it's going to open up fully in 2026. So everybody, put your seatbelts on. It's going to be a beautiful ride. Okay? And thank you, Ivory. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share?
I love you.
I love you more. Anyone else
I
have
have another thing to share.
Very good.
Aaron, not too long ago, but quite some time ago, I mentioned seeing owl like around like where I live, and not too long ago, like 2 to 3 days ago, the owl appeared, but it was a smaller owl, and they were telling me they were allowed to walk up on the owl, and the owl didn't jump, like didn't go nowhere, just watched them, and they watched it. And if they wanted to, they could have touched it, but they didn't. But they said it was just sitting there watching them.
Very good. That's an indicator that the Anunnaki are back. All right? Thank you. Anybody else have something they'd like to share?
Amun.
Yes.
This is Asar. I want to share the experience that I had today at my work.
Very good.
Yes, I met this client that I called and tried to get her in our business, and I guess she felt my vibration, my tone, and she started talking about that she need a spiritual family to go to, and she want to know, you know what I'm saying? We just started vibrating and started talking, and she got excited and started crying as I started teaching her. So I called her Nuki's up and introduced her to Nuki's, and she would have came to class tonight, but a job called her in, but she very excited. She met Kiefer, and she met Bess too on the phone, so she said she at home, and we all welcome at home, so she will be in class Sunday.
Well, very good. I'm glad to hear that you're working on building 124,000. Kim, are you here tonight? All right. Everybody?
Yeah, I'm here, Mr.
Okay, I'm glad. You know, I'm waiting on you on the email, right?
I'm gonna write it tonight.
Very good, man. Make sure you don't leave anything out. Okay,
Okay,
I love you, and I believe in you. Look, you all, we're going to chapter 19 of the Holy Tablets. So I really expect everybody to look it up either on the internet, or if you don't have the actual book, or get your disc out. If you get spiritual packages from me, I'll wait until you get a chance to put your disc in the computer. Chapter 19.
If you have the PDF, it starts on page 1587 on the PDF, if you have it.
Very good. We have to always remember to go back to our scripture, our divine scripture, the Holy Tablet. Me, as far as the spiritual experience, I was fascinated a couple of days ago when I really started focusing on, like I ask you all to try to figure out who and what you are. And I thought about it when I heard Yaanuwn say on one of his classes that he's not Michael, that he's Malachi York. He's a physical man that sometimes this angel Michael occupies to deliver light messages to the world. And I thought about that very hard. And I know that the scriptures and many things that I do confirm that I am Amun. But I can't be Amun as far as the creator, Allah, or Elyon El, which I am. But in a more realistic sense, is the Most High visits my shell as Larry Dansberg to communicate his messages to humanity. So I want to try to make that clear. But I was very excited about it. Last night I had spiritual experiences where I was traveling around the world, going to churches and looking preachers in the eye and trying to get them to stop spellbinding, their congregations, and wake up to the reality that we are here, but not as religions that have been created by Caucasians in the world for obvious reasons of spellbinding, manipulating the masses like an opiate or a drug, right? So I just want to make you all aware of that. Anybody here that didn't get a chance to find chapter 19 of the Holy Tablets yet?
I'm there, Messiah.
Very good. Okay, begin all right.
I'm still scrolling to find it.
Say it again. You looking for it now?
Yeah, this is ordained. I'm still looking.
Okay, very good. You know you have the disc, right? I sent you in your spiritual package. And Cheryl, are you here in London?
Yes, I'm here.
I want to let you know that I'm finalizing your package, and I only wish that it was coming to me. And I want to say that I love you and appreciate you.
Thank you.
She's very good disciple. She sent the money for the spiritual package, over $250. Then she also added another $266.50, to cover the cost of sending the package. And I thought that was very considerate and generous of her. So bless you. You know I'm going to be looking out for you.
Yes, thank you.
Always. Love you, family.
Okay, I got it.
All right. Chapter 19. Begin all action thinking by using Al-Falun, the All, Tablet 1. Malachi Zoduk, incarnated. Lo, I know you have wondered, why did I come? Where did I come from? Why did I come? And who am I? I descend to this plane formless, in form, in other words, a spiritual entity manifested inside of a corporal body, as Malachi York a man. I descend to this plane formless, in form, a temple of the incarnated divinity to guide you. Circle around me, for like the sun, I am the axis. For me comes pure green light to warm your soul and to nourish your being, for I am the axis. Revolve around me, feel my love, and feed off of my wisdom. For in me you will find overstanding. People say I am a liar and a blasphemer, but those who know me know I speak nothing but the truth. I came to guide you back to the right path, the path of right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding, and right reasoning. The creation of the green tree. Anu, Yaanuwn, El, and that would be my higher self, just like the angel Michael is the higher self of Malachi York. Anu, Yaanuwn, El, created a green tree with 4 branches for the 4 scientists and called it the tree of certainty, Shajarazel, Yakinlo tree, or the green tree. Then he created my light, Malachi Zaduk, in a veil of green emerald, whose true light is violet at the tip of the prism, like the wing of the peacock, and placed it on the tree. So my light said, Subhana Allah, who is Anu, Yaanuwn, El, that means glory to Allah, who is Yaanuwn, El. On it for 76 trillion years of the time of the Anunnaki, the Elohim. Then Anu, Yaanuwn, El, created the mirror of life, which is the light of the Anunnaki seraphim. They are the agreeable race of Anunnaki, angelic beings of the green light, and from its reflection created the Anunnaki cherubim. So what he's saying is that he created the seraphim, Anu, Yaanuwn, El, Amun created the seraphim, and then from the reflection of the seraphim, he created the Garubat, or a cherubim. That would be symbolically like if you took Polaroid, if you took pictures from a 35 millimeter, took them to a pharmacy to get them developed, they would give you 2 prints. They would give you the original, and that would be the picture that you cherish and put in your album, and then he would give you a reflection of them that they call the negative, right? Or the ones you can see through. So let's do that again. Then Anu, Yaanuwn, El, created the mirror of life, which is the light of the Anunnaki seraphim. They are the agreeable race of Anunnaki, angelic beings of the green light, and from its reflection created the Anunnaki cherubim, angels of the lesser light, the disagreeable race of Anunnaki. And the mirror was placed to reflect that light of Anu, Yaanuwn, El, and it shined as El Noah, that means the light of Anu, who is also El Elo. When the peacock looked in it, it saw its own form as the most beautiful of forms, and its own shape as the most adorned. So it felt embarrassed before Anu and sweated. 7 drops of sweat fell from it. So from the first drop, Anu created you, Cadman, son of Khalifa, successor Atum, and his wife Lilith. That's Adam, right? Or Zaka. May Anu be pleased with you to be ruler of Nasser, the realm of the Enosites. From the second, he is to create one called Utnapishtim, who is also called Noah, son of Lamech, and his wife Camilla. Now, let's be clear about the creation of Cadman or Adam. He didn't have to separate the creation of Nakeba or Eve, because when you say the Adama, that comes from the Adama of the ground, so that's a race of beings that would be inclusive of men and women and children, all right? Okay, from the second, he is to create one called Utnapishtim, that's Noah, who is also called Noah, son of Lamech, and his wife Camilla. May Anu be pleased with him and her. From the third, he is to create one called Abram's son of Terah, and his wife Nunan. May Anu be pleased with him and her. From the fourth, he is to create 2 called Ishmael and Isaac, sons of Abram, and his wife Sarai, which was changed to Sarah, and his other wives Hagar and Keturah. May Anu be pleased with them. From the fifth, he is to create 2 called Moses, and his brother, of course, Aaron, sons of Amram, and his wife Jochebed. May Anu be pleased with them. From the sixth, he is to create one called Jesus, son of Gabriel, son of Rasael and Zamael, and Mary of the Anunnaki seraphim. He shall be his only begotten in his time. May Anu be pleased with them. And from the seventh he will create one called Achmet, son of Abdalit, and his wife Amina. May Anu be pleased with them all. Then that light of Achmet, son of Abdalat, and Amina prostrated 3 times, one for each of the human senses. So 3 to 5 prostrations were to become obligatory for his followers at an appointed time. And so Anu made 3 5 prayers obligatory for Achmet and his nation of people. And for the best of his followers, he made 7 prayers, one for each of the original tablets of all. Then the peacock looked at that light again, and it sweated for modesty before Anu. For the sweat of his nose, Anu, Elionel created more of the Anunnaki. From the sweat of his face, Anu, Elionel created the shrine in Kadesh, also known as Nippur, and Jerusalem, the footstool, the 7 tablets of forms, the quill, that's the pen to write with, the sun, the moon, the veils, and the stars, and what is in the skies. From the breast he Anu created the guide, Al-Mahdi, that's also Achmet, the reformer, that's Malachi, Al-Mujahid, that's Malachi, the female and male living beings of knowledge, as the mortars, the head, which is As-Said, El-Hadi, Al-Mahdi, Malachi, son of Said Abdul Rahman Al-Mahdi, of whom I descend, and from the sweat of his back, he created the visitors of the house. And you see the picture there of Achmet teaching his Shahaba, or companions, Kalra, or religious studies. All right? Verse 45. The Kaaba, the holy house which is in Mecca today, aforetime called Becca, one in Malakut and one in Nasr. In other words, they have that house in heaven and on earth. And the places of raising your hands to the skies and the prostration to the Mother Earth in Nasr. In the sweat of his 2 eyebrows, he will create the community of Achmet, son of Abdalit, and Amina. May Anu be pleased with him, of the faithful and of the ones of peace, both male and female living beings called the real Muslims, or ones of peace, right? Upon the plane of force there is neither distance nor time. There is no heat nor cold, summer or winter, day or shadow hour. From the sweat of his 2 feet he created the planet Earth, from the east to the west, and what is in it. Then Anu said to that green light, look before you, O light of Murdoch, who is also called Malachi Zoduk, and Michael, son of Enki and Damkina. So it looked and saw a light before it, and a light behind it, and a light on its right, and a light on its left. Tablet 2. The true story of Achmet, Muhammad. Lo, in 570 A.D., called Aim el-Fazal, the year of the elephant in Arabia, being the year in which Aburatu al-Ashram, an Ethiopian ruler of Sina and Yemen, marched with a large army of elephants to conquer Mecca. The 150-degree, originally the 19th chapter of the Quran, is dedicated to this event, saying, didn't you see how your Achmet Rab, who is sustainer, dealt with the companions of the field, elephant? Abrahat al-Ashram, viceroy of Yemen, didn't he, the source, Allah, manifest that their scheming to destroy the Kaaba was a grave error? And consequently, he, Allah, sent airborne flocks, Tyre, on them, throwing hot stones, Hajarat from Sijil on them by throwing stones from Sijil. The source Allah made their flesh raw, like kernels of quickly consumed corn, thahats, and chewed hay. A child prophesies of the praised one or the comforter. And this is a picture of Muhammad, Mustafa, Muhammad Alameen, the greatest Ra, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The language Arabic, that is, Ahmed was born to a descendant of Kedar, second son of Ishmael, and his wife, Said of Fatima. This Ishmael was the first son of Abraham and his Egyptian wife Hagar. This descendant was called Abdullah, a slave of the god Alat, later called Abdullah, to imply servant of Allah. That's myself. Abdullah was one of the sons of Abd al-Muttalib, the others being Hamza, al-Abbas, Abu Lahab, who came from one of the pale Arab wives, Aiz Zahir, al-Haris, and Abdul Talib, father of Ali, husband of Fatima, the son, the sole heir of Ahmed. Abd al-Muttalib, who headed the tribe called the Hashemites, later called the Quraysh. The mother of Ahmed was called Amina, daughter of Wahb. Mecca, the capital at that time, was the most important location for Arab pilgrims. The year of the elephant was a destitute year for many. Among those suffering the effects of famine was the family of Al-Harith, son of Rifa, son of Malan, son of Nasira, son of Qasay, son of Nasser, son of Sa'ad, son of Bakar, son of Hawazin, his wife Halimah, daughter of Abdul Du'ab, of Banu Sa'id, son of Bakr, came to Mecca along with the women of other nomadic tribes searching for babies to breastfeed, a tradition of that day. Before she returned to her family's tent, she took an orphan child into her care named Ahmed, later called Muhammad, who was destined to become the prophet of a new religion called Mohammedanism, combining the religion of Abraham called Millah Ibrahim and the way of the life of those before him called Al-Islam. With idolatry and paganism, they created, with the help of the Catholic Church, a newfound faith called Din al-Islam, meaning submit to Dina, the female deity of the crescent moon, the so-called Ishtar. She was called the universal mother of all living things, the virgin mother of all souls, who's known as Diana, Artemis, Phoebe, and Cynthia. The chief seat of the Dina cult and worship was at Ephesus, where a great temple was built. When Ahmed was a baby, his grandfather took him to the Kaaba, a cube-shaped structure, the same shape structure of the great Temple of Solomon, a site of worship for his commemoration of his construction by Abraham and Ishmael. Because you see, after the flood, the Kaaba was buried by mud, and they were commanded by Anu to go and find it. And they searched and searched over the flat plains. There was nothing but mud and dirt as far as you could see. But the angel Gabriel went down and struck up a light like a laser to shoot up in the sky that marked the place where the Kaaba was buried. And they painstakingly uncovered the Kaaba, shovel by shovel, until they brought it back up into the present form it is in today. Okay? And called his name... Go ahead.
Where are you?
Where am I?
Where are you?
We're in chapter 19, tablet 2, verse 30.
Thank you.
Okay. And called his name from Ahmed, the name of prophecy, to Muhammad, the prophecy fulfilled. Or the three memes, Ahmed and birth, Muhammad and prophecy, and Mahmud in the end. But the reason why Muhammad was called the greatest Ra, or Ahmed, is because Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, the Most High sent down all the angels and that great Ra, his own soul, to place into Muhammad. So that night was greater than 1,000 nights. The night of power, the Latus Qadari, remember that. 31. Unbeknown to them, Shaitan had given birth to his own prophet Muhammad. That was the white one. A son of a wicked man named Habib al-Hamid. They named this child Rahubat, Muslimat. Okay, we're in chapter 19 of the Holy Tablets, verse 34. He was to undermine all of the unknowing followers of Muhammad. And we have to be careful in these days and times because there are undercover demons that are here to derail and misguide a lot of the faithful in this day and time. He was to lie and wait in order to deceive them. To get all of them except for Al-Muqtasina, the purified ones. They can't deceive the purified ones, though. That's also a fact. Who would be guided by the successor of Muhammad al-Mahdi of the Sudan, whose teaching would spread like sun coming out of the east even unto the west. There you find the Muqtasina, the Ansur Allah, under Al-Miklas. That was another name for Malachi. Protected from the touch of this worldwide deception called Mohammedanism, whose followers are called Mohammedans, Muslims, or Muslims, with its own corrupted set of laws called Sharia, laws made by man not found in the real Al-Quran. That's what you call Hadith. They wrote like Bukhari and Shahid, these separate books written by men that would have sections in them like I said on Jumu'ah Friday, the Holy Prophet delivered a sermon to his congregation where that the whites of his armpit were clearly visible without mentioning that he wore a white jalabiyah. The deception was to convince the people that read the hadith that he was a white man. All right. 40. It would create a system called the rules and regulations and fatwa sentences. This Sharia is subdivided into qadat, false beliefs, adab, moral immoralities, abadat, blind devotion, mu'amalat, unfair transactions, ukubat, barbaric punishments, and lastly the demon, al-hadith, will become the source of their information. And he would call his text the hadith, their guidance. A man named Muslimat, son of Habib al-Hanafi, and make note, that he was born 22 years before Ahmed, yet his name was Muslimat, which is just another way of saying Muslim. Waraka ibn Nufal, Ibn Asad ibn Abdi el-Uzza, the uncle of Khadijah, was this advisor as they plotted to create their own Quran to deceive the followers of Muhammad, who were all Nubians. They were all black. Yet Muslims followers, as they were referred to in the real Quran, as the desert Arabs, are in control of Mecca, Jerusalem, and even the tomb of the Mahdi. To this day, the Mahdi was Ahmed. They formed what is called the Sacred Brotherhood of Ikhwani Muslimun, the Brotherhood of Muslimat, the lion who was told by Waraka that he was inspired by Namus, another form of the word Nomos, a spirit being, which Walker told his false Muhammad had appeared to Moses also. This can be found recorded in their hadith under Sahih al-Bukhari, where it is said, when Muhammad told Walker, the Jew, what he had seen in Mount Hira. Mount Hira is the place that Muhammad received revelation from the angel Gabriel in the cave, when he was told in order to Iqra Bismi Rabbi Alayka, read in the name of your Lord who created. And he said, his response was, I am not a reader, right? I am not a reader, until Gabriel pressed him hard and said, read, your Lord knows best what he created. And he was ordered not to read the Quran as many people suppose, but he was ordered to read that which came before it, which was the Old Testament, right? Because at that time, the Holy Quran was not revealed yet. But Gabriel had came to him to anoint him to be the prophet, to receive revelations in the form of surahs of the Quran that was to come into the world through Ahmed by the hand of Gabriel. All right. Exclaim that it is the Namas who appeared before Allahu Rahman to Moses when in fact this Muhammad mentioned is Muslimat. Abu al-Haq, that means the truth. Namas means one who can take knowledge of the sacred thoughts of a man and use it in contradiction to the word of justice. Okay, a spy who seeks to know the evil deeds of another. The Namos or Nomo of the Dogon were reptilians, or serpent beings called in the Quran shaitans, who were behind Muslimat. The Quran, that's a red book by Henry Penrice that imitated the Quran. The Quran, called the Holy Quran or the Glorious Quran, as held in the hands of Muslims today, is a product of Jewish scholars and the Catholic Church's branch of the Jesuit priests under Pope Augustine. And they planned the poisoning of the Prophet Muhammad by a Jewish woman named Zainab bint Harith, wife of Selham ibn Mishkam, whom Muhammad killed in battle. This plan was to destroy the original Quran and replace it with their version of the Quran, written by Muslimat with the help of the Jewish scholars and Christian scholars. This was to be done by hastening the death of Muhammad and placing as his successor a desert Arab named Abu Bakr ibn Uthman, and to kill all of the Halil Bayt, that means the family of Ahmed, which is the family of Ahmed, starting, just a minute, starting with the attempt to kill the rightful caliph, successful Ali, son of Abu Talib, the very man who raised Ahmed. This plan succeeded, but assassins from which the name Hashim, whose original name is Amar, comes from, the original name of Ahmed's family tribe, stepped in and secretly assassinated all of these fake successors. The false caliphs, namely Abu Bakr, Uthman, Umar, had complied with false Quran, changed the language to their dialects, and killed off all the men who had memorized the original Quran called Al-Qurasaba, called the Seven Readers. They were Imam Ibn Qasir, Imam Asim, Imam Abu Umar, Imam Hamza, Imam Raqiza, Imam Nafi, and Imam Ibn Amir, but they could not put their hands on Ali as of yet. He became recognized as the fourth caliph, even though he was the first, and took the handwritten copy of the Quran that was in his wife Fatima, daughter of Ahmed, possessions, sent it to Kufa, where it was transposed into Kufic. That means purified, and sent the original copies through Egypt down into Sudan, where, and this is a picture of Khadija, wife of Muhammad. She's the one that poisoned him. And I had a mate named Khadija that poisoned me and gave birth to 3 of my children. Isn't that something history repeats itself? Okay. Protected and never translated into any foreign language until now. Eventually they assassinated Ali and his family members, but not before this seed was well planted in the Sudan, for which sprang the great Al-Mahdi, that's Ahmed, and his Ratib. That was the book that I wrote the night before I ascended or died, right? I finished writing that book all night until the sun broke and rose, and then I laid down my Quran with my pen, walked outside the tent, and looked up on the hill, and there stood two prophets, Abraham and Elijah, dressed in white. And I wasn't stood in between them, and together we turned around and walked back into paradise. All right. Who had possession of the original Quran. And I have a copy of the Ratib here with me, if anybody ever interested, which in time also got infiltrated by the political egotists from the bloodline who formed on Ummah party, broke away from the original teachings of the Mahdi, allowing their daughters to marry into the Ikhwani Muslim, and the Ansar fell to ruin, only for the prophecy of 100 years to be fulfilled from 1870 AD, the establishment of Jazir Abba, to 1970 AD, when the sun rose in the west, and these truths are made clear, talking about Malachi with the Ansarullah community in Brooklyn. We are the Ansarullah community, Al-Bayt, that means the family of Ahmed. This fault infected the masjid there that we built was named the Ahmed Masjid. This fake Muhammad that is responsible for Islam, as you know it today, be it Sunni, Shiite, Ahmadiyya, Wahhabi, Ikhwani, Muslim, Nation of Islam, World Muslim Community, and the many other sects that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said would rise in the last day and oppose his nation. The Ansarullah, for the real Quran said, O you are of the faithful, be Ansarullah, means helpers of Allah. Ansar means helper. And again it says, O you is of the faithful, if you help Allah, Allah will help and plant firm your feet. That's right. They plan a plan, and Allah plans a plan, and Allah is the best of planners. This plot of theirs was headed by Muslim Act, who lived and ruled in the exact same time as Mustafa Muhammad al-Amin. This Arabian prophet of the 5th century was born in the year 550 and 80 AD, and was killed in 633 AD by Washi, the Ethiopian assassin by the command of Abu Bakr, who betrayed him, wanting to be the ruler of all of his followers for himself. Now, I'll tell you, to show you how real these last days are unfolding in, Muhammad, peace and blessings, that brought the Holy Quran, the real prophet of Allah, was born in 570 AD, and he received the Quran and created a whole worldwide religion. And he made his ascension or departed from this earthly realm in 632 AD. So how old was he when he died? He was born 570, and he made his ascension 632 AD. Okay. Who else can say? From 570 to 632. How old was he when he... Say it again.
62.
Exactly. He was 62 years old. Now me, on the phone with you, I was born May 31st, 1951. I was born in 51 in New Orleans, Louisiana, right? And I was taken up with Malachi 3:26:13. I was taken up 3:26:13. March 26, 2013. How old was I when I was taken up?
62.
That's right. I was 62 this time as well. You understand? And the number in the Quran and the Holy Tablets, when you read every verse or every surah in the Quran or the tablets, it's in increments of 19. So you see, before you start every tablet, it'll say, for example, let me see, chapter 18, chapter 19. But it'll start off by saying, tablet 1, 19 times 3 equals 57. So that it's 19 divided by 3, multiplied by 3 equals 57. That's the number of verses in that tablet. So every one of the chapters in here is divided equally by 19 ayats or verses. Are you following me? And how many chapters in the Holy Tablets total?
19.
19. So when you say the Bismi Allah, the Tasmi, Bismi Allah Akbanadahim, in it are 19 letters, or above it are 19. So that 19 is the number of Ahmed, because Ahmed is the 19th Imam after the succession of Mustafa Muhammad Al-Amin through his nephew Ali and his daughter Fatima. I am the 19th Imam. Are you following what I'm saying? Now, I want y'all to understand that means when you go to the Holy Tablets, and it says in that, chapter 13, verses 252, I, Elion El, sent to you Ahmed as an apostle, reciting to you the purified pages, the holy tablets. In it are clear inscriptions, right? So you have to do the timeline and know that the holy tablets didn't come out till 1997. So the Ahmed on the phone reciting the holy tablets to you right now tonight is me, Ahmed, the real Ahmed. Further, you can use a science called Abjad, the science of numbers, Abjad, because I was born in 1951, right? And then in 1970, when the seventh seal was broken, how old was I? (1951). 19. I was 19 exactly. And my first visit to Malachi was in 1981 when I was called to go take my Shahada in 1981. And the devil's time ended in the year 2000. From 1981 to 2000, how many years was that?
19.
Right. 19. And 30, you're right. 30 is another number. That's a sacred number. Mute your phones. 30 is another number in Abjad that means that's equaling the letter Lamb. Like Aleph Lam Mim, the Lamb, like Malachi the Lamb and Jesus the Lamb, or I am the Lamb. So 30 is a sacred number too. So from 1951, and I was ordered to go to him in 1981, while I was still 30 years of age, I was still 30. I was 30 years of age when I met Malachi in flesh for the first time as the Lamb. Are you following what I'm saying? And then when I was at the age of 19, when he broke the seventh seal in 1970, from 1970 to the year 2000 was another 30 years. You follow me? So my point is I am who I am, and I can prove it in so many ways. I don't just have to move the universe. I'm telling you, it's really me. So contrary to all popular belief in lying devils that still exist today, they're trying to confuse and send you off the path. And what is their proof? They have none. And my proof is unlimited, okay? So if you're looking for the real thing, it's here. And we do love you, and we're back for you. Okay, what's the last verse? Okay, verse 85. A year after Muhammad died, in the year 632, that's when I told you that I made this in 632, right? A year after Muhammad died, in the year 632, Muhammad was a very prominent leader who was very well versed in poetry. A self-claimed prophet composed his own holy book called the Quran. I told you that was authored today by Henry Penrice. He considered himself a prophet over Yamama, a province in the southeastern part of Saudi Arabia, before he planned their total takeover of all Arabia with the murder death of Mustafa Muhammad Al-Amin, who started his mission in the years 6 and 10 A.D. While meditating in a cave, Hira, in the Har mountain. That's what I was just telling y'all. Okay. The mountain lit up with light. A cylinder-shaped craft hovered above. A symbolic letter was lowered, and an Elohim, whom he became aware of, was called Gabriel, son of Rafael and Zimah, approached him and said, Ikra, read. And Muhammad replied, Ya Gabriel, Ma'ina, be, Qalian, O one sent from El, I am not a reader. It was Umay, mother tongue, right? And Gabriel repeated, Ikra, read, getting the same reply. Then Gabriel said on this 19th shadow hour in the 9th month called Ramadan, for it is very hot in that month, read by using the name of your Rab who creates. He procreated the inner from a cloud of congealed blood, cells separating. Read by way of your Rab who is sustainer, the Ikram, most generous. It is he who taught you by way of the Qalam, the pen quill. He taught the Innocents that which they did not know. So Ahmed knew this to mean that he was to read that which was already taught by scribes who wrote by the pen, that means the Old Testament. The Quran had not yet been revealed. He was talking about previous scriptures. The next time he appeared, the first thing Gabriel said to Muhammad was, the light as Noah, and the Qalam quill, and that which they, the news bearers, record. You, Muhammad, are not, I say, not by the grace of your sustainer, who was possessed by a jinn, a malevolent being. This was necessary, for all who heard Muhammad's claim of spiritual visitation declared him possessed. His next revelation was, O you who is Muzlamil, one wrapped up in a mantle, raise up for prayer a little way into the shadow hour, not quite halfway into it, just a little qalil of it, or you, Ahmed, may add to it. It's your choice. And Ratil, recite the Quran rhythmically, yet well presented in a regulated tone. And then his next revelation, O you who covered under your mantle, Al-Muttathir, arise, and Anzir, warn, and your wrath sustainer Allah is Kabir, expanding in greatness, and purify your raiment, put on white, and shun the abomination, Rouge Zah. And that's what it is, this ring that I wear, the signet ring that Panabab Yaanuwn brought back from Jazir Abba, the seat of Ahmed and Kordofan, Sudan, in 1981, where it says in Kufic Arabic, Allah is Ahmed. And on the bottom in Kufi script, Ansar. And finally, he was given the revelation that began with 19 mystical Bismi Allah, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, in Arabic. Begin all things in the name of Allah, the Yield of the Merciful. So I told you that there are 19 letters in Bismi Allah, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. That's the Tasmiyah. Above it are 19. There are 19 above it. Meaning that this Milky Way is the 18th galaxy. The 19th galaxy is Yaanuwn, the planet Risk. That's where we are from, the 19th galaxy. Above it are 19. Are you following me? Muhammad told this story by saying this. That book, that book is the scriptures, no doubt about it, like right? Inside of it, there is a guidance to those who tremble. These are they who are faithful to what is unseen, and they get up to perform worship, and of the things we, Elohim Anunnaki, have provided for them, they share willingly. These are they who are faithful to what was sent down to you, Muhammad, and what was sent down before your time. And at this time, I want to thank the brothers Sarah and Jasmine and Katat and all those people that really generously share what they have to support the mission financially and in other ways. I love you all. And what was sent down before your time, that's the other scriptures and tablets. And in the end, Al-Akhir, they will certainly be successful. These are the ones who follow Al-Mahdi, that's Ahmed, the guidance given to their Rab master. And when it says, in the end, Al-Akhir, I told you all, when Bashar came to visit me, that before he left, he shook my hand. I could feel the warmth of his palm, very warm. And he asked me a question. He said, did you call me Akhir? And I responded without thinking. I said, I didn't call anybody. But Akhir means the last. I'm the last of the elders. but he calls me Aker, all right? Which means the last, just like Aker, the last day. All right. 120. And these are the ones who are successful. Surely those who cover the facts, it is the same to them whether you warn them or do not warn them. They are not going to be faithful. The source Allah has put a seal on their emotional hearts and their hearing. And they're, in other words, Suman, Uman, and Bookman, deaf, dumb, and blind, and they return not. And on their eyes is a screen, and there awaits for them a supreme pain, an akbar, aching pain. And from amongst the innocents, there are those of them who will say, we have faith in the source, Allah, for fear of the end, Yom el-Akhir, that's the last day. And they are not really in with the faithful. They pretend like they're with us, but they're really not. And some of them want to pretend to be me. They only seek to deceive the source, Allah, and those who have faith. And they don't deceive any except themselves. But they don't perceive it. They don't even know it. In their hearts, there is a disease. So Allah will increase their disease, and for them there is an aching pain, because they are liars. Muslimat, the liar, preached in the name of Rahman, along with calling himself Rahman. Rahman was introduced to the version of was introduced in their version of the Quran when the original Quran was destroyed by the followers of Muslimat. Muslimat gave the name of his deity Rahman from the Torah, meaning the merciful. When all the original copies of the Quran were destroyed and Muslimat and his followers introduced their version of the Quran, he collected portions of the real copies of the Quran and threw away 3 chapters. Right? All in the name of deception. Surah, Kyle, maternal uncle, Surah, Hafid, peace, and Surah, Norain, illumination. They also changed the name of the Surah Al-Hamd, a Surah praise, to Surah Al-Fatiha, that means the opening, as well as added the last 3 verses to the 9th chapter to exalt himself. The original Quran was on the bones and skins of the ancient script in the dialect of the Quraysh tribe and was entrusted to Ali. In other words, every time Gabriel came to earth, after Prophet Mustafa Muhammad was declared the prophet, he used to ride his favorite camel, Khazam, and when another surah was introduced to him, he would get so overwhelmed with the vibrations from Gabriel that he would start shaking and vibrating violently and fall off his camel. And his men would run to him with rocks and rawhides and write down the words he would say. You know, so once he fell and he said, and while he was shaking and vibrating, he said, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmuddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim, Siratal Ladzina An'amta Alaihim, Ghayril Maghdubi Alaihim Waladdallin. Ameen. Other times he would say, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Kul, Allahu Ahad, Allahu Samad, Lam Yalid wa Lam Yulad wa Lam Yakun Lahu Kufuwan Ahad. So he recited all of these, and that was the whole Quran he recited painfully. After being introduced to it, the vibrations were so heavy, it says that if the book laid on a mountain, it would melt the mountain down, but it would make that man shake and quiver and fall off of his camel. Right? And everywhere they traveled, they would hide these bones and rocks and rawhide in different places. So after the prophet made his ascension in 632, his faithful followers went back and collected all that and then described it into a book called the Holy Quran. And the word Quran itself means Iqra, it means read. The same thing Gabriel commanded Alfred to do in the cave at Mount Highland. Okay, now verse 140. The nephew and too successful of Muhammad and husband of Fatima, the daughter of Muhammad, who was thought to be taken and destroyed by the followers of false Muhammad, who later became known as the Kufalafa, or successor to Muhammad. The original copy of the Quran was taken and completely burned by Uthman, son of I found false copies were distributed and circulated throughout the Islamic world. Now you know it's me because they're hiding everything now about me. They're trying to make out that ain't no Messiah, and they don't, like, there are many, are you here from Chicago right now? Okay, Walt, in California, you've heard Har say there are many Patarak that were written but not put out, right?
Right.
That's right. Like Solomon, and it's a lot of them that put out there. But all of the ones that the Patarak that they're not letting the world see confirm my return. They're talking about me, Amun, the return of Amun, which is all Malachi talked about since he broke the seventh seal in 1970. The return of Jesus, the return of the Messiah, the return of Amun, right? Okay, yeah.
Right.
But that's what these black devils, like how many of you was in the South before Malachi got abducted or arrested, whatever it was, that the shrine had raised money and funds. We had big billboards all over Georgia and all over the South with pictures of the Black Messiah and the return of the Black Messiah. How many of y'all remember that?
Yeah, I remember Messiah.
Yeah, they were everywhere, all over the South. Well, you got to tell them, not us. So they were everywhere. Now, mute your phone. Like I challenge you all to find any sign of divine love on the internet. You can't. I challenge all of you to find one picture of those billboards of the Black Messiah anywhere. And then I can tell you how thoroughly they are sincere about bearing the reality of my return, which means they want to cut you all off from the source, the Most High. Are you following me? While they have these fake people take my place and lead y'all to hell. It's not a joke. So I'm telling y'all to post up these posts and get everybody in class. Bring them to me so I can reveal the truth to them before times get beyond repair, and thereby earn your own seat in paradise, or you too will be left behind. You follow me? Now, what verse was that? Verse 144. False copies were distributed and circulated throughout the Islamic world, unbeknown the original was protected and safe in the hands of the real Muhammad's true descendants in the Sudan. All of this was done immediately after Muhammad's death in the years 6 and 30 and 2. That was 632. And 48 years of age in the year 610 AD, Muhammad taught that the Elohim Gabriel, son of Raphael, and his father and Samael, his mother, came to him and declared him the final prophet of the seed of the teachings of Abraham, whom he called Abraham ibn Asar, after which he went forth and proclaimed the bounty of Allah. Muhammad sought the truth and retired to a cave at the side of Mount Hira, 3 miles outside of Mecca, for peaceful contemplation. At 20 and 5, he married Khadijah. That was a mistake, a Christian businesswoman of wealth. Her uncle Waraka was the scribe of the Bible and a devout Christian. Told Muhammad that Elohim Gabriel, whom appeared to him, means that he was a prophet. Through his conversion, he drew a shrewd businessman named Abu Bakr, Abdullah ibn Uthman of Desert Arab, the father-in-law by marriage to his daughter Aisha. He was the first recognized caliph to the Prophet Muhammad. Proposed to office by Umar ibn al-Kitab and his supporters. He was a red Arab from the tribe Taim, one of the leading Arabs, the red Arabs, who mixed in with the black tribes of the Quraysh. His father Uthman, not to be mistaken with the third caliph, also named Uthman, was a wealthy, powerful man. So what we're doing, we're endeavoring in these last days to straighten all this confusion out. And a lot of you say, well, why are we going back to this? Because sometimes to go forward, you have to go back in order to understand. Just like Muhammad was ordered to go back to the Old Testament before that they revealed the Quran to him, right? Because you have to have a foundation and understand the ways of the Most High and understand the way Allah or Yaanuwn works before you proceed forward. You can't just get introduced to this and take it from there and you don't have no background in it to understand the foundation that he laid, right? Just like when you go to the chapter of the Quran that tells you about the overthrown cities and all these people that were there were ordered to believe in the religion of the Most High, and they demurred and wouldn't and refused, how they were destroyed and the violent hurricanes and what have you overtook them and caves fall down and broke their neck, and they were given powerful signs and miracles by these apostles, but they would not believe, except those of the purified ones. Against them the devil had no authority, right? And they were saved. And they're here with me right now today. In Mecca, and Abu Bakr was also a wealthy merchant. He was considered to be a very powerful and respected amongst the desert Arabs, and was thought to be deeply devoted to Islam, when in reality he was a part of the master plot. He gave the Prophet Muhammad his very young daughter to leave the impression that the Prophet Muhammad was a pedophile, right? She was Aisha, a very disloyal and evil woman who caused much dissension in Muhammad's household, bringing him much unhappiness and unrest. That was Khadijah too, who also was a part of the scheme to disrespect and dishonor his noble daughter, Hazrat Fatima, right up until the death of the real Prophet Muhammad in the years 6 and 30 and 2 AD. From that point, and I have a dishonorable family just like that today. So a lot of you of the righteous don't realize it, but you were born into ugly families of wicked and evil people that want to destroy you. And they try to destroy you by their own hands, and you don't even know why they hate you that much to want to destroy you. But these demons send those people in, like my older brother stabbed me and try to kill me and all that. These are demons that are sent to you, from the other side of the fallen angels to try to block the word and block you from ascending back to heaven, which is your rightful home. All right. 152. Okay, because of his previous jealousy, grudges towards Ali, and Abu Bakr's daughters, Aisha, grudges towards Ali also, he deliberately waited until the real Muhammad had passed, so he could freely torment the Halil, and they want to freely torment you and us. Now, I know that what I'm saying is reaching a lot of you, and you're thinking to yourself, Amun, you telling the truth. Them devils, they have been tormenting me and doing things to me. And I didn't know why, but now you're starting to understand, okay? He used, go ahead. 165, he used his power and money to influence people to support his claim as the rightful successor. Abu Bakr resigned for 2 years and 9 months, and he died after long-term illness. He personally chose Umar ibn al-Khattab to succeed him, even though they were both red Arabs, as was the fake Muhammad, Muslimat. Umar al-Khattab, Muhammad's father-in-law, by marriage to his daughter Hafsa. The second recognized caliphate belonged to the great Meccan family of Banu Umayyah, the branch of which descended Abdul Asi, who was Umar's grandfather, with a tribe called Adi ibn Ka, also a clan of the tribe that also mixed in with the black tribes of Quraysh. Umar converted to Islam after reading a surah, Taha. Now, I'll tell you, one ayat in the surah, Taha, of the Quran is, on the day when the trumpet is blown, the guilty will be gathered blue-eyed on that day. That's Surah Taha 102 of the Holy Quran. And a lot of people don't like the Quran because of verses like that, right? Or verses like chapter 12 in the Bible, when it says that Miriam was cursed white and leprous as snow. All right, now, what verse is that? Okay, 173. Umar converted to Islam after reading a Surah Taha, but not after first seeking to kill the real Muhammad. Umar was known as a fierce and aggressive man who really transformed the Islamic State, and he played a dominant role in the Sunnah line of successors. He was feared more than loved. And when Muhammad was alive, Umar served as second in command of the Muslim army. In 644 AD, Umar was murdered by a Persian Christian slave named Firuz, who stabbed him with a dagger while he was making salat. Yeah, they always trying to stab somebody. Evil ass. They possessed by jinns, by devils. Okay. Or they'll destroy your soul and your mind and your body. They try to destroy you. Al-Fajr in the Masjid, he died 3 days later after he turned 50 and 3 years old. He reigned for 10 years, and an elected council composed of 6 of the oldest companions elected Uthman as the next Khalifa. So Umar was a red Arab whose descendancy goes back to Jordan. Uthman ibn Affan ibn Abdul Aziz, Muhammad's son-in-law, by marriage to his daughters, Ruqayya, and after her death, Kulthum. He was a black Arab from the tribe of Umayyah, an affluent clan of the Abid Shams branch of the tribe of Quraysh, descended from Hadad, the 8th son of Ishmael, the son of Abraham. Uthman was an influential, well-accomplished, wealthy merchant from Mecca who became a close companion of Muhammad. His wealth and position was an asset to the growing Muslim community. Uthman was responsible for the remaining chapters of the Quran in order that it is found today. Yet he did not receive any special instructions in collecting and collating the Quran. Uthman was killed by members of the revolutionary movement led by the Rafiki from Egypt. They suspected Uthman of plotting their deaths, so they attacked him first. They besieged his home and after a few days forced their way in. Uthman was struck in the head 3 times, stabbed in the side with a sword, and finally beheaded. Uthman reigned for 11 years, and at the time of his murder, he was 82 years old. He was the only caliph who was a black Arab. However, his descendancy was not from Kedar, but Uthman's ancestry stemmed from Haydar, the brother of Kedar. These 3 men lied, cheated, and took away the caliphal position from the rightful heir, Amir al-Mu'minin Ali, on him be peace. Then they senselessly persecuted him and his family. These 3 men were the founders of the Orthodox Sunni Muslim sect, and none of them was the bloodline of Muhammad. So what I'm saying is that you all that are with me now, it's important that you find and make aware all the people that are still sleeping these last days, because like you all, they are members of my original Hallel Bait, or members of my house, members of my family. That I'm sitting here, I'm back here to make you remember what you previously knew, but have forgotten by time, so that you can wake up. Are you following me? It's very important. You're directly related, you're part of the lineage of the Most High, of the Creator of the heavens and the earth. You're a very potent and powerful people.
Ooh.
You're the greatest of the great. Remember that. And there are many people that are jealous and hateful of you. And they'll do anything to mislead you and throw you off the path, even though a lot of times they'll try to demur and act like they're real nice and caring. You understand? Their arms really at our destruction.
Ooh.
Okay, 199. These 3 men were the founders of the Orthodox Sunni Muslim sect, and none of them was of the bloodline of Muhammad, and their prophet Muhammad as taught throughout the Muslim world today. was none other than Muslimat. When Muslimat approached Muhammad 678 AD to create an alignment and was rejected, Muslimat became insulted and was set out to have Muhammad killed by poisoning. That's where Khadijah came in at, that bitch. Okay. At the same time, there was a woman, the wife of a Jew named Salam ibn Mishkam, that Muhammad had previously ordered killed, giving her reason to swear vengeance to Muhammad. So Zainab bin Harith sought revenge by going to Muslimat, who himself was a Jew, and together they arranged the assassination of Muhammad by poisoning. And in 629 AD, to celebrate the victory over a Jewish-occupied district called Khaybar, Muhammad and his men had a feast. Zainab herself served a specially prepared poisoned lamb to Muhammad and his men. Muhammad swallowed one bite of the poisoned meat before he realized by its taste that it was contaminated. Muhammad did not die immediately. However, he did get sick, and he felt the effects of this poison up until his death. But it was 3 years later, in 632 AD. However, one of his men named Bishir ate a large portion of the meat and died instantly. As for Zainab, she was put to death immediately. When Muhammad, out of the way, Muslimat could now proceed with his proclamation that he was the final prophet and the final apostle of the world, and that he could intercede on judgment and get anyone into paradise, and that his own holy book called Al-Quran, Al-Kareem, was the final revelation to all humanity on the planet Earth. And that's what these niggas trying to do. They trying to pretend to y'all like they sent from the Creator, the Most High, but they offer no proof, just lip profession. They talk and they talk and they talk, but they don't heal or perform miracles, and they don't have no scriptural knowledge or history. They just talking. Why do you believe these fools? These lion snakes, why do you listen to them? Okay. Kahaba called Ruknu Yamani, in acknowledgement of his god, Rahman, introduced Kaaba worship, placing a set of collective incidents and saying which became known as the Sunnah, and Hadith of men above the words of Allah, and as the name Muhammad, one who is worthy of praise as himself, equal to Allah. He became more of a threat to Abu Bakr Abdullah, son of Uthman. So Abu Bakr decided to order Muslimat killed. After several blunder in the different battles, Abu Bakr sent Khalid bin Wahid as the new commander of the Muslim army. The Muslims and the warriors of Muslimat met at Araba. Eventually, Muslimat was cut down by Washi, an Abyssinian slave of Jubalu B. Mut'aim. He was the same slave who had killed Hamza, the beloved uncle of Muhammad, at the Battle of Uhai. Washi was a hired assassin hired by a bitter enemy of Islam. And this looks like a picture. Yeah, they are evil. But the thing you got to remember, they look just like black, they look just like you. They look just like me, so you got to be careful. What page are we on now? 1612? 1615. 16. Okay. Yeah. I'm putting along, but I'm trying to get there. Okay. Hind, wife of Abu Sufyan, a staunch enemy of Muhammad. Hind, like Zainab, had several relatives slaughtered. Okay. Let's go past. Let's move up further past the story of Bilal and all that. We know he called her at hand for Muhammad, and he was black. But let's go further into this. Let's go up to tablet 5. Let me know when you all are there. But right now, let me take you to tablet 6. Verse 313. Tablet 6 of chapter 19, verse 313. Let me know when you all are all there.
Got it, Amun.
All right.
I'm there.
All right. Tablet 6, verse 313. So you can be reminded and connect all the dots to see what this whole thing is about, this Earth mission. 313. Behold, the Son of Righteousness, that's Malachi, stands before you with the scroll of Malachi, that's these holy tablets, that rebukes the liars for their transgressions, and who will prepare the way for the Messiah, by turning the hearts of the fathers to the sons, and the sons to the Father. Or else, I, Malachi, will strike the earth with utter destruction. Now you are ready to move on towards the next level, and ready to accept what was given to you originally, a teaching that none can stand against. You were the meek that are here to dumbfound the wise, get the message out. And so we are at the beginning again with Sufi and Feathers, only now we are Sufi under the Amun, the ancient mystical order of Melchizedek, the beginning of their end. You can't be fooled by any religious doctrines of any kind. No, not nowadays. You have your first tool, this holy tablet, not someone else's interpretation. Your own scripture that will dispel all the lies, causing all false things to perish, making the truth come to light. Let me speak to you of my arrival. All right, and then we're going to go into that later on, but that's important too. Now let's go back to tablet 5 of chapter 19. Let me know when you all are there.
I'm there.
All right. Anybody else need it?
No,
tab? All right.
I'm there.
All right. Those of Amun-Rayay, lo, the souls of the Amun, faithful of the community of Ahmed, son of Abdul and Amina, are created from the sweat of Ahmed, who is called Muhammad, or better Mustafa Muhammad Al-Amin, son of Abdullah, peace be upon him. So they will say, nothing would exist that Allah didn't create it. Then Allah created the 3 candlesticks of green carnelian, and its outside is seen from its inside, right? And then y'all need to go on from there and try to read, okay, then he created my form as Malachi, son of Alilu, with the healing power, giving me 720 degrees and how I will look in the physical world. So he placed in my head this candlestick that I may look inside and outside of all things, and I have that ability too, of course. And I stood in it as one standing in worship. Then the 4 and 20 Anunnaki of the Seraphim did tawaf, circumference around the light of me, Malachi, son of Anu. That's why in one of his letters he said about me, he said that you and I, Ahmed, have the power to lift a stone with our mind, with the temple of our mind, right, without hands and all that. Because we can move things with our mind by looking inside, right? And he said, glory be to Anu. And nothing would exist if Anu Eliel didn't create it. Anu is the most supreme for another 7,000 years, when the end of the one existence is the beginning of another. Now he tells you right here, Anu is the most supreme of all things in existence, right? And then he tells you the prayer of Amun, that Amun, and he tells you the prayer of Amun, that Amun is the most supreme of all things in existence, right? Am I right? Right. So they're one and the same.
You right.
Yeah. Anu and Eliel and Allah, all those are Amun. All right. I think it's important for us to go on and read this. Zodok Melchizedek. Lo, then Elilu the Supreme, supreme being commanded all the souls of creation to look at my form, and I incarnated in the form of Melchizedek, Maliki Tezdik, Malachi Zodak, and then I incarnated in the form of El-Kupt. Then I incarnated in the form of Yaanuwn. I am from Risk, the 8th planet, in the 19th galaxy, Yaanuwn. Far outside of this one, it's the 19th galaxy. I'm sitting to give you the true guidance out of your past that has become your future and has returned stop. And has returned to warn you. I came from the planet Risk by way of Nibiru. You call it Jannat, that means garden. Our solar system is within the 19th galaxy, on this side of the first warp called the black hole. We have a tri-solar system of 19 planets and 8 and 30 moons. Some planets have moons while others don't. I come from the 8th planet of the 19th galaxy called Yaanuwn. The planet Risk is a great planet that gives a great deal of energy, originally having 2 moons, but now 1. From the planet, you see, now that's why, as above, so below. And everything's in the same place at the same time, vibrating on different frequencies. Because you see, here on Earth, we come from a tri-solar system in Yaanuwn, but you're going to end up with 3 suns here on Earth. For the righteous that ascend to the new heaven and new earth, they will see 3 suns, because they'll be back on Yaanuwn. But you don't have to go any place to go to heaven. You just have to raise up in vibration. Because everything's in the same place at the same time, just vibrating on different frequencies. In other words, Risk is right here in the same place as Earth, just like heaven and hell are the same place. You don't have to go from one place to another to get to heaven or to get to hell. You can be in heaven and hell exactly where you at. Depends on the way your mind is working. Are you following me? Look, let me stop right now and open up the floor for any questions anybody might have.
I have a question, Amun.
I'll do my best.
Can you explain to us, my mate and I, and everyone here, what's happening in the world right now and what's been happening spiritually and energetically as far as the dimensional shift and where it's culminating? Yeah, the dimensional shift is in effect, and everybody should be aware of it. If you look at the temperatures in Georgia, last week we had temperatures in 77 and 80 degrees in January. Now, if you don't think that's strange, you just start thinking that you're too young to have a history of the planet, right? And you can see there are too many violent storms. And in Revelations, it told you that in the end there would be, you couldn't tell one season from another. And it would be mother against daughter, father against son, nation against nation. It would be wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places. And you hear about earthquakes everywhere, and wars are everywhere. And these antichrists are rising up, like Donald Trump, all over the world, right? And they're really Decepticons, because he's claiming, for example, that he wants to attack Iran because their political government is saying that they don't want anybody to demonstrate in the streets legally even, and they're locking them up by the thousands and killing them. But isn't that what Trump is doing here in the United States and all these American cities, in Minnesota and all these places, Chicago? Minnesota?
Yeah, in Minnesota. Yep. Isn't he doing that in California? Yep. Did he have all those soldiers out there in Louisiana and all over the place? Is he trying to stifle any criticism of his government, his regime, and of the illegal things that he's doing? But he's going around attacking everybody, talking about he's gonna conquer Canada and make it part of the United States and Greenland. How you gonna just take country? How you gonna just do that? That's Adolf. That's the devil. That's Nazis. That's what it is. Look at it for what it is. He's the devil. goddammit. Don't pretend like you don't understand what's happening.
That's right.
You know you got devils walking to and fro on the earth right here. You gonna just go over to Venezuela and blow up people in boats, in fishing boats, making out there bringing drugs to America, and American shores are over 1,000 miles away from there. Ain't nobody, you can't take no fishing boat from Venezuela to America. That's bullshit. And you don't even know who's on it.
Right.
And they're in international waters. You just blowing up civilian people in boats and killing them. That's right. And now he done escalated. He's stealing whole oil tankers with millions and millions of dollars of oil on it. He's just taking them, commandeering them, landing with helicopters, military, and at gunpoint. He's taking and stealing all that oil, and had the nerve to just go into that country with assault troops and helicopter and parachute in and kidnap the first lady and the president of Venezuela and bring them to the United States. He's the devil. You understand? And he's crying, and he's pointing the finger at everybody in the world saying how they're devils and demons. But he's the devil. What's the difference between the way he works and Adolf Hitler worked? What's the difference?
Ain't no difference.
No.
I understand. But the question is, why do you have so many people worshiping and following the beast, after the image of the beast? Because that's what they're doing. And in the last days, you'll find that. Because now you find that the Most High has created a separation in the earth. He's dividing the wheat from the chaff, the wheat from the straw, the wolves from the lambs. He's separating, he's parting the earth. Just like in the parable of the field, he said, the devil came to a farmer that had fallen asleep, and he told me, he said, there's a stranger came in, crept in, and sowed tares among your good wheat. And the farmer, the household, he said, well, can't we just go out and uproot the wicked tares? He said, nay, you have to wait until the harvest, because when the angels come, the reapers will go out and separate. Otherwise, you uproot the good wheat with it. He said, but when the angels come, they'll separate the wheat from the tares, or the good from the evil, wrap all the tares in bundles and burn them in the furnace, and bring all the wheat into my barn, bring all the good people into heaven. Do you understand? So this is happening right now. He's creating a separation. So all this is like on the news. You hear people talking about Earth 1 and Earth 2. That's what they mean. They're talking about Earth 1 is the old world where everybody's living with Trump and all them and the devils reign with the logic, and they got a completely different mindset. They think completely different. These assholes do evil and try to make it fair even. They're going to piss on your foot and tell you it's rain, and you know it's goddamn wrong. And they do that in firm resolution. They try to tell you that they're right, and you know they're wrong, and they know they're wrong. It's two left goddamn shoes. These are the black-hearted devils on the way to hell. You understand? And we separating from them filthy-minded, twisted-minded, sick assholes. You better separate. Come out of them. And be ye not partakers of our sins and our punishment. Come out of them, my people. And don't be caring because that's my family, my daughter, my son, my wife, my husband. That's the goddamn devil, nigga. All right, man. It's time to go outside and perform some miracles. Now, I'm serious about that. That ain't just no preaching from Reverend Deacon Four-Time Pastor Patrick. I'm telling you the truth. They are devils. And I call them devils because what else would you call them?
Nothing but. Nothing but.
That's right.
You got another name for them?
Cool.
The shit they do and they demons. Trying to hide the truth and twist these things are wicked snakes, serpents. Everybody that's serious about this, go outside and look at the sky and tell me what you see. Here's where I separate the deity, the God, from the humans. And then the devils, the real devils among them will say, why are you so obsessed with moving stars? I'm obsessed with moving stars, nigga, because you can't. But me and the ones that's with me and really loyal and with me, they can do what I do. Just like the disciples with Jesus. They were called the sons and daughters of thunder. Because the greatest of my disciples was the 13th disciple was Miriam. She was previously a whore. But she was my wife. I had 2 wives and children. Right? But all my disciples perform miracles just like me. That's right. Because they are the Halil Bait, my family, the family of the Most High. But this planet is designated as a penitentiary for wayward angels. It's predominantly fallen angels, so don't ever forget that. Okay, what do y'all see in the sky?
I see a star.
I see a star in Georgia.
All right, now Cheryl, that's you in London, right? And you don't come. Is Ann here?
She is.
Okay, I love you, Ann. All right.
Rahubat.
Rahubat, Ann.
Amun. And then you not picking the money up I sent.
Oh, okay, you picking the money up?
Yeah, I sent you a donation. You've not picked it up.
Oh, is this Ann?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I just got. Okay, I'll go. Okay, I didn't get to. Could you email me the number for it?
Okay, I'll email you again. Yeah.
All right, please make sure you do. I love you. And anybody making donations on Cash App, make sure you let me know it on my email. And I'm asking you, Katak, because I know you here, to also every time you get a printout from them, email it to me, please, son. All right. Okay, Cheryl. I'm sorry?
It's not Cash App, it's Western Union.
Oh, I know it is with you, Ann, but a lot of people still use Cash App, and that's all right. But I need to be notified of that so I'm not in the dark for a couple of reasons. First off, I might want to send something to them for my appreciation, right? So I have to know they sent it, right? And I want to acknowledge in class that they are among the people that are supporting the mission of the Most High. All right? All right, what do you see, Cheryl, there in London?
I see a star.
All right. We will make that star raise up in the name of the Messiah, Amun-Rayay.
Raising up.
I love you. Now we're going to make it drop down in the name of Amun. It moved to the left a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah. Still doing that.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay,
every time my mind trips like that, the star moves differently. Okay, we're going to make it go in circles clockwise.
Okay, starting to move clockwise. Yep, going up, moving clockwise.
All right, now we're going to make it come closer to you, Cheryl.
Okay.
Name of
Ooh, coming closer.
Yes. Now we want to move away from you. Go back out.
Okay, going out. I can see it moving back out.
I love you. And the brother in Georgia, what do you see?
The star. I see the star.
All right. I'm going to make that star move to the left in the name of the Messiah.
Yeah. It's moving. It's blinking too.
Yeah. Now I'm going to come up, move back to the right in the name of the Messiah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, look.
Yeah, moving back.
Yes, I love you. And now I'm going to move the whole universe for you, Anukas. All creation, raise up in the name of the Messiah.
Raising up.
Raising up.
All right. All creation, drop down. All creation, drop down.
It's dropping down.
I love you. All creation, move to the left. In the name of Amun-Rayay.
Going left.
I love you. I want y'all all to know it's really me. The Most High loves you. Stay close and do the work. Support the mission. Write your testimonies. Bear witness to this. This is a profound truth that's happening nowhere in the world except right here with us. You are the chosen, the selected, elite, the chosen 144,000. Raise up your numbers. Get your brothers and sisters here. Time is getting short. Do your mission. I love you. Need to authority. Amun-Rayay, Asa, servant to the Most High. Bless you.